Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Welcome back to Shamanic Awakening, my friends. Thank you all for sharing your space, energy, and your time and allowing me to share mine. Today we're going to do a rather, I don't know if difficult's the right word, but we're going to do a challenging spread today as determined by the dice. We're going to do the devil archetype. Once again, I'm using the spread from the Labyrinthos website. This is a rather large spread, so we're going to do it a little differently this time, but nonetheless, we got this. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, homie. Drop a comment. Share it with your friends. If you want to help out in any way, shape, or form, or get yourself a personal reading, that's where you want to go, my friend. And thank you so much for doing so, and thank you for being here and sharing your precious space, energy, and your time, and allowing me to share mine. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start working on this spread. So the intention of this spread is for shadow work. It's for moments when you feel guilty, ashamed, or insecure, and you feel a need for examining these emotions. It's also good for help with self-forgiveness, and you know what, we'll go through these from time to time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the cards, and then we'll analyze it as we go. You feel me? I'd like to set the intention to be a clear channel for this message. Thank you, Spirit. All right, first card up is going to be our ego. Who is the person that we think of ourselves as? What identity are we most interested in preserving? We got the Five of Wands and the Fool at the bottom. So what I'm getting off the bat is that our ego is a bit feisty. We tend to fight for what we feel is ours. So the ego is a fighter. So who's the shadow? What part of ourself have we rejected? Or are we ashamed or insecure about? Oh, I already saw what it was. The Queen of Cups. Look at that. And the Fool's at the bottom of this deck too? No flipping way, bro. What the flip?
¿Qué? Huh.
Interesting. Okay, so our shadow is very soft. In fact, very emotional. Can I get one more card on this? What else do we need to know about the shadow? What else do we need to know about the shadow that will help us be more in touch with the shadow? So this is like the feminine side. The Queen of Cups is very emotionally available, very comforting, very calm. And on the other side of that, look at that, flipped around like that. On the other side of that, our ego is a fighter. So we could be like the guy in the office who's like the lovable hard ass, where he's like, he just gives everybody shit, but then like he's got a heart of gold. I feel like that kind of energy right now. So, and then we got the Six of Wands, which is victory. So, but specifically, we have the butterfly. We have the butterfly in this part. So it's almost like, yeah, our shadow side is a bit more emotional than we'd like to lead on. We went from the 5 to the 6. I feel like this energy here is like in touch with their shadow. You could have done work on yourself recently and kind of like came to this conclusion already on your own. This is just like confirmation, right? And again, my friends, only take what resonates. Use your intuition, okay? If it doesn't, I shouldn't be telling you anything that you don't really know unless we're looking in a possible outcome. And again, the future's dynamic, so we can change the future, you feel me? Okay, so where do we find comfort? What makes us feel comfortable? What is it about our attachments that we find so soothing? What makes it difficult to face the shadow? So the shadow's very soft, very comforting. Almost like we don't like to let on to that. We have the Temperance card. So with the Temperance card being here in the comfort, I feel like we walk a fine line in the middle. We could have a temper and we find comfort in that temper. What are we trying to avoid? What feelings do the shadow, look at that, the devil. What feelings do the shadow bring up in us? What do we fear? The devil is like materialism. This is addictions. This is what we feel chained to, what we feel. The Mother of Wands, courage, determination, ambition. So I feel like we're trying to avoid our demons, honestly. Like, so like it could be that like our shadow is very emotional, but on the exterior, right, we're like fighters. We like fighting, right? I feel like a very manipulative energy here with the, especially because the Queen of Wands is here and it's in the avoidance. Like, it's almost like, because if the Queen of Wands is in her shadow, she can be very manipulative and she knows how to get her way. So we could be addicted to drama. Like, I feel a little bit of a drama addiction here. Let's keep going here. So how is the rejection of the shadow affecting others? What in our outer life do we see? Where in our outer life do we see our shadow? Who is our scapegoat? So who are we projecting onto, basically? Who are we projecting the shadow? We got the Seven of Swords. Yeah, see, this is very sneaky energy. This is a very strategic energy. So it could be that the sign of Gemini is right there. This is air. It could be somebody in your life that's an air sign or has air in their top 3. Somebody is definitely somebody you communicate with, like, daily, right? Let's see. Yeah, so it's going to be somebody in your life that you are strategic with, where like you know what you want from them, and that's who you project all of this craziness onto, all this drama. Let's see. So let's go on to rejection. So how is rejection of the shadow affecting our personal life? What else are we rejecting in order to remain comfortable? And what are we giving up? So how does rejection of the shadow affect our personal life? Wow. The Ten of Cups. It's affecting our joy. It is affecting our joy straight up. So the shadow being rejected, it's causing a sense of chaos, which is the opposite of order. What's the opposite of bliss? Misery? So it's making it's making our connections miserable. Can I get one more card here? How is rejection of the shadow affecting our lives? What are we giving up along with this bliss here? Love. Look at that. Nurturance. It's almost like there's somebody in your life, whoever it is that you're projecting onto. It's like, look at that. The 7 of Wands is at the bottom. We got a 7 right there. Yeah, they have to be like defensive against you. So it's like somebody's trying to nurture you, trying to give you this joy. And you're steady projecting all this like need for drama because of this emotional side of you that you are rejecting clearly. Okay, so what does forgiveness and healing look like? How can I soothe myself? How do I heal my wounds? How do I heal my wounds? How do I forgive myself? How do I forgive? Look, you can tell, like, all right, I grew up in the streets, homie. It's a hard knock life. And one thing I can tell you for sure is that the hardest motherfucker, right? The person that acts like the most like tough is actually deep down inside a little bit. Like, so when you see somebody and they're acting super tough and they're acting like, you know, like they're barking the loudest, that's going to be the first motherfucker to run, man. So it's nothing new, you know, like you shouldn't be ashamed of having an emotional side. We all have masculine, feminine energy. I grew up in a Latino family, okay, and we tend to be very machistas and like, you know, tough guys. But dude, everybody's got their weak. So when you see those guys cry, they cry like little girls, man. And it's like, dude, you hide all these tears inside until you can't anymore, and then you just, you know, like, it's better to just be emotionally aware of yourself. Okay, be comfortable in your emotions, my friends. They're part of you. The more that you try to suppress or deny them, the more they're gonna manifest in negative ways. So forgive yourself for that. We got the 7 of Cups for forgiveness. So what does forgiveness look like? It looks like you kind of, your perception, right? Your perception on your emotions clears up. Like you see clearly. 2 7s right next to each other, by the way. So where are we headed if we can forgive and release ourselves from this shadow? So what does it look like if we release what no longer serves us? We got the 4 of Wands, celebration. Look at that. Reunion. It's almost, the 6 of Wands is at the bottom. That's beautiful. I feel like you are going to be successful in this, my friend. If you're watching this and this is resonating with you, have no fear, my friend. All you got to do is be in touch with your sensitive side. Be softer. You don't always have to be fighting everybody or feel like defensive. Like not everybody's out to get you. Trust me. Not really many people care. I'm just going to be straight up with you. The person that does care about you or care about what you're doing is actually the person that's getting all the crap from you. So instead of feeling like somebody's always out to get you, feel me, forgive yourself and let that person nurture you, because right now they're getting all the crap. And that's not fair. You know, they won't take that. It could be that they already left, because once you forgive yourself and release, it looks like there's a reunion of some sort. Like they come back, like, yeah, let's enjoy ourselves like we're supposed to, you know? Got a lot of fire in this reading. Look at that, the Hierophant. Yep. Having morals. Look at that. I was about to say could lead to a traditional, like, like a very traditional relationship or partnership. And we got the Lovers. Yeah. So once you can forgive the shadow and own it and love it because that's a part of you, you are looking too sick. Right, right. Yeah, this is like, look at that. We got the Queen and the King of Cups. I love this reading. This reading is dope. So that actually was not as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. Can we get like a final from the Oracle cards, like a final message to how can we carry out this task of this shadow work that we need to do here, getting in touch with our softer side. We got the Eye of the Eagle rising above the fray. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. Look at that, and it's rising above. Beautiful. I love that. We got lost in space, needing direction. So you know what I'm getting here? Don't do this alone. Try to do the shadow work on your own. Find like a holistic healer or somebody that you trust to be with you while you do this shadow work. Look, because if you start it and you don't finish it, it could lead to more disowning of this shadow. We have organic balance, another 6. Yeah, we got 666 in here. This is definitely the devil's reading. 666 is not even that bad, dude. Actually means that your angels are protecting you and showing you, like blessing you with your gifts. The portal of transcendence at the bottom. This is like, it's time to step through this portal. It's time to step into your complete and authentic self. Can we get one more oracle card here? This is a beautiful reading, y'all. I was a little bit worried, not gonna lie, but it made total sense. Everything made sense. Veiled. Interesting. Yeah. So it's like, wow, guides. The guides just unveiled everything for you right here, my friends. Another 7. We got 777. So, like I said, listen, it's okay to be soft. Not everybody's out to get you, okay? We all contain masculine and feminine energy. Kindness is not weakness, my friend. It actually takes a lot more strength to be kind, okay? Do not be ashamed of your kindness and do not let anyone take your kindness for weakness because those are not your people, okay? On that note, my friends, namaste, stellar, you beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining me again. Be good to yourselves, be good to others, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.